You've got something due today, and the cursor's just blinking at you. You know roughly what you want to say, you just can't get that first sentence to come out. And the longer you sit there, the worse it gets. So you open one of those AI tools, and now you're stuck between two bad options. Grind it out alone and lose the whole afternoon, or paste in whatever the machine hands you and hope nobody notices it reads exactly like everyone else's. Here's what 30 years of writing reports plus a book and a weekly newsletter taught me. The blank page and the finished page are two completely different jobs. A machine got genuinely good at one of them, and the other one is the entire reason why anyone reads you at all. And there's a real number on this that almost none of those videos will put on the screen. A proper study, hundreds of professionals going up right here with its source. Let me show you where AI actually earned its keep at your desk, and the one part you can never hand it. So let's start with why the blank page is so brutal, because it isn't laziness and it's not a lack of ideas. Writing anything is really 4 jobs stacked on top of each other. You're coming up with what to say, deciding the order, getting the words down, and judging whether those words are any good, all at the same time. And that last job is the trap. You write half a sentence and the editor in your head pounces on it before it's even finished. Drafting and judging are fighting for the same chair, so nothing moves. Writers have a name for the fix, and it's older than any chatbot. Separate the passes. Get it down first, make it good second. There's a line every writing coach eventually says, and I think they're right. Your first draft doesn't need to be good. It just needs to exist. And a bad page you can fix. A blank page you can only stare at. The whole battle is getting from nothing to something you can actually react to. Now, most videos in this corner of the internet will either scold you for using AI at all, or sell you a workflow for $19 a month. I'm not putting the useful part behind a paywall, it's right here because I genuinely want you to get better at this. So let me put a real number on what AI does to that first draft job. In 2023, 2 researchers at MIT, Shakid Noy and Whitney Zhang, ran a proper randomized experiment. 453 professionals doing real business writing, press releases, short reports, delicate emails. Half of them got ChatGPT, half didn't. It was published in the journal Science, and the source card is sitting right here on the screen. This is what they measured. The people using AI finished 40% faster, and their work came back 18% higher on quality, graded blind by other professionals who had no idea which prices had help, faster and better at the same time, which almost never happens together. But the part that actually matters for you is buried in the details. The biggest gains didn't go to the strongest writers. They went to the weakest ones. AI pulled the bottom of the room up towards the top. It raised the floor. So if writing has never been your strong suit, you're exactly who this helps the most. So that's the study, and it's strange how rarely anyone in this niche actually shows it to you, and it points at something very specific. The machine isn't making you a better thinker. It's demolishing the cold start, the part where you're stuck at 0, which brings us to the real question. What exactly should you hand it, and what should you never let go of? Lane 1 is the machine's lane, and it's narrower than the hype wants you to believe. Hand it the blank page, hand it the rough draft. You say, here's my topic, here are 5 messy points I want to make. Give me the first pass I can tear apart. That's it. That's the grind it's genuinely great at. Let me make it concrete with something off my own desk. A project status update to a client. I know the deadline slipped. I know why. I know what we're doing about it, but staring at that empty email, hunting for the opening line, that's the part that quietly eats 20 minutes. So I give the machine the facts and let it draft the skeleton. And what comes back is genuinely useful. I've got a structure, an opening that isn't terrible. All the boilerplate transitions I would have typed anyway, 10 minutes of pure friction, just gone. The blank page is filled, and that quality meter has climbed from nothing to a solid, competent, slightly boring draft. But notice where that draft stops. It's competent. And it's generic because the machine wrote it cold. It doesn't know which slipped deadline will actually spook this particular client, or the one reassurance that lands with them, because it doesn't have your context. It handed you the abundant part for free. The scarce part is still sitting with you. So lane 1 is real, and it's worth using every single day. Faster starts, less friction, the floor raised, especially if writing is a slog for you. But if you stop right here, you just clean up the typos and hit send, you've walked straight into the exact trap the rest of this video is about. Because here's the turn. Lane 2 is your lane, and it's the entire reason your name is on the thing. The machine handed you a draft. Now you have to do the 4 jobs it only pretended to do. What's the actual argument? What's at stake? What's true? And does any of this sound remotely like a human being? Start with the argument, because that's the one that quietly gets dropped. The machine will happily give you a draft that says nothing very smoothly. It'll hedge every point into mush. Your job is to walk in and decide what you're actually claiming and what you want this client, this boss, this reader to believe or do when they finish. AI can arrange words, it can't decide what you mean. Then, what's true? This one isn't optional, it's the whole ballgame. These tools will state a wrong number with total confidence. They'll invent a detail that sounds right and simply isn't. On a client update or a proposal, one confidently false line is the thing that quietly torches your credibility. Checking what's true against what you actually know, that's judgment, and it's yours alone. And then the voice. This is the part I care about the most. As somebody who's written a book and mails out a newsletter every single month, your voice is the reason a specific person reads you instead of the 1,000 other people saying roughly the same thing. There's an old line I keep coming back to. You don't finish as someone else, you finish as yourself. A draft the machine wrote is, by definition, not yet yours. I've said this about every tool I use, and it holds here too. You still have to be in the driver's seat. The AI floors the accelerator on the boring part, and that's great, but your hands never come off the wheel on the argument, the facts, and the voice. The second they do, you're not driving anymore. You're a passenger hoping the road stays straight. So what happens when the hands do come off? You get what everybody's now calling slop. And the uncomfortable part is this: readers can smell it. There's a video by a creator named Evan Edinger titled, "I Can Spot AI Writing Instantly." 2 million people watched it. 2 million. That's how badly people want to catch this stuff. He walks through the tells, and you already know them. The tidy little dash dropped into the middle of every other sentence, everything arriving in neat groups of 3. That construction where it's not just this, it's that. The empty complements, the way it restates the same point 4 times in slightly different clothes. Once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. But this is what most of that 2 million view crowd missed. The dash was never the real problem. Writers were taught the M dash and the rule of 3 back in school. Those were good tools. I've used both of those writing tools for the past 30 years and won a writing award for a book I wrote well before AI was capable of even helping with the slightest of it. The actual tell isn't the punctuation. It's the absence of a person. It reads like nobody wrote it because nobody made the decisions. A human just pasted and shipped. And it cuts the other way too. There's a well-known productivity writer, Tiago Forte, who trained an AI on his own style and let it draft most of his content. Technically impressive, but his own audience revolted in the comments. The line that stuck with me was somebody saying it feels like every day there's a little less Tiago Forte in the writing. They didn't punish him for using AI. They punished him for handing over the part that was him. So from both directions, the verdict is identical. Under-edit it and it reads like nobody. Overhand it, and it stops sounding like you. The failure was never using the tool. The failure's giving the tool your judgment. That's the cliff. And the good news, staying off it is a simple, repeatable habit. So here's how I actually run this at my desk, and you can steal the whole thing. Step 1, you go first, not the machine. Before you open AI, jot down the argument in one plain sentence and 3 real specifics that only you know. The number that slipped, the reason it matters, the first thing you want them to feel. I have a stack of yellow legal pads for exactly this purpose. I don't even write it on the screen, even though my desk is right here in front of the computer. I'm writing it out so that there's nothing about the computer taking away my attention. This matters more than it sounds, and it's the whole reason cold prompting disappoints people. If you don't already understand your own situation, you don't even know what to ask the machine for. It can only hand you the average of everything it's ever read, which is basically the definition of generic. Your context is the one thing it will never have, so you have to bring it to the table. Step 2, now you let it beat the blank page. Hand it your sentence and your specifics and let it grind out the rough draft. That's lane 1, and this is where that 40% of speed actually lives. Let it do the cold start it's good at. You just bought yourself 20 minutes and a running start. Step 3, and this is the one no tool can do for you. Take the pen back. Rewrite the opening in your own words. Kill every tidy triple and empty complement. Fact check every number and every name against what you actually know. Cut the lines that sound like anybody at all. What's left, that's yours, and it went out the door twice as fast. And that clears up the ethics question people tie themselves in knots over. Using AI to get unstuck and draft faster, that's just a better pencil. Nobody's owed a blank page origin story. Where it actually goes wrong is generating something you don't understand and passing it off as your considered judgment. The first is a tool. The second is a lie you'll eventually get caught in. So I'd like to hear from you, and I might be wrong about exactly where I draw this line. What's the one thing you refuse to hand to an AI, no matter how good the draft it gives you is? The argument, the final voice, something you wouldn't let it touch at all. Tell me in the comments, because I really love to read them, and honestly, the disagreements are the most interesting part. If the way I think about this is useful to you, I've put a long version in 2 places. My book, Founders Who Finish, is over at davesaunders.net. And while you're there, sign up for my newsletter, The Build. That's where I work through exactly this kind of thing. The judgment part, the part the machine can't do for you. And if you want more of these, go ahead and subscribe and I'll keep making them. Hand the machine your blank page, just never hand it the part that's actually you.